Hi, I'm James Howell. It's my privilege to be one of the pastors here at Myers Park United Methodist Church. It's my 16th year with you here. And I'm here today with Kate Maynard.
Hello, I am a church member with my husband David. We've been at Myers Park for 18 years, and we are raising our 3 children here in the church. I have served as the chair of the staff parish committee and have continued to be involved in the lay leadership of the church in the recent years.
Now, we're here today to talk about an issue that's facing our denomination. We're part of the United Methodist Church. It's a global denomination, and something that has been a cause of dissension in our church for years is the issue of LGBTQ inclusion, theological perspective on human sexuality. A lot is about how do we read the Bible? How do we think theologically about this issue that's so big in the public eye? So every 4 years we have a general conference that determines the law of the church. In 2016 we met in Portland, Oregon. And when this issue came up, the delegates, there are 800 something of them from all over the world, half are clergy, half are laity. I'm a delegate. Sandy Hieronymus from our church is a delegate. It's kind of rare. We have 2 delegates in the world. It's good. We met and decided to try to resolve this thing definitively. So they asked the bishops, our council of bishops, to appoint the commission on a way forward. And that group met extensively, prayerfully for a long period of time. They came with recommendations that our bishops are bringing to a called general conference. It's going to take place in February of 2019. This is going to be a big deal because we're going to make some kind of decision then. There are really 2 proposals that are coming forward. One is called the One Church proposal, and that would really allow each church to decide what they want to do with respect to whom to marry, and so on. Annual conferences at that level would decide whom do we ordain. Do we ordain LGBTQ people or not? So our conference, Western North Carolina, would make a decision about that. Our church, we would make our own decision about that, as would churches all over the world. Our bishops are heartily supporting this option. I feel it's the best way for us to stay together as a church, which is an important witness to the world, but also to be in ministry in our communities where we are. There's also the proposal to keep what we've had. We've had a traditional model that says we don't condone the practice of homosexuality, we don't ordain, we don't marry folks in the LGBTQ community. That proposal will be there, and that could be the way that we go. So a decision will be made, and it'll have a big impact on our church. We want to begin thinking about that now.
As you know, through James's sermons and writings, we've heard him express his support and belief that our church, Myers Park, the United Methodist Church as a whole, is large enough and should incorporate individuals who have different beliefs and understandings and thoughts about LGBTQ inclusion. And we at Myers Park have, over the last 3 years, engaged in some thoughtful consideration of these issues. If you recall, in 2015 was the year that the United States Supreme Court legalized same-gender marriage across the country. And that was one of the precipitating factors for some of the conversations here at Myers Park. And James led a learning session about what the Bible has to say about human sexuality. At that time, I was chairing our staff parish committee, and our staff parish committee and then the full lay leadership of the church communicated to everyone our support for our clergy as they each make individual prayerful decisions about whom to marry. And that support was communicated to the church as a whole. And then you may recall in early 2016, we stood in this room, gathered as a church family for some conversations around human sexuality, same-gender marriage, questions, beliefs, understandings, emotions around those issues. And through that, we learned what I think we probably already knew, that we were a place of love and togetherness and support for each other, and that there are different opinions and beliefs, and that we as a community of faith and as a church family can coexist with each other. And that was something, as a leader of the congregation, it was nice to see affirmed.
And then the lay leadership has continued to meet on into this year.
Yes,
yeah.
And as the Commission on a Way Forward has worked through their process and looking toward the February General Conference, the lay leadership has been staying abreast of those developments, reading the proposals that have come forth. We have reviewed the One Church plan, the alternative traditional plan, and other developments as we look forward to February. We will continue to do that. We think it's important as lay leadership to be attentive to these issues because they will impact us here at Myers Park. We also want to continue in conversation with the broader church family, and we hope to be able to do that between now and the February General Conference.
Yeah, so there'll be opportunities coming when we'll be able to be together and talk about this. We want to hear from you. We care about how you feel about this. We want to continue to love each other and stay together as a church. We're a strong church. God's doing great things through us. So we want you to know about this, and something that you can do. We've got to wait till February, but something you can do in the meantime. If you would do this, it would be great, is just be in prayer. Pray every day for our denomination, for our church, for me as pastor, Sandy as a delegate, the other delegates who are going to this conference in February. And pray that God's goodwill will be done through this, through us, and it will be a bright light to the world and a good witness to the goodness of God.